Today's video is going to be a different one. As you know, the problem that's going on between India and China near the border, and also recently 20 of Indian soldiers were killed by the Chinese troops in the clash that took place in the Galwan area. And also recently there was this hashtag called as boycott Chinese products that was going trending on Twitter. So in today's video we are going to talk about this and also the Indian smartphone market, which is being dominated by the Chinese brands. So if you want to know more about this and also the reason behind it, stay tuned till the end of the video. Hey guys, it's Nitish here from Technology What You Need to Know, also shortly known as Technology Wing. And by the way, if you're new here, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Now let's jump in. Before I start the video, you can divide this into two categories. One is the software and the other is the hardware. Software in the sense I'm talking about the Chinese applications. So yeah, recently even Indian Intelligence Agency has given a list of 52 applications which can steal your data. So uninstalling these Chinese apps and then moving to the alternatives is quite easy. But the same doesn't work with the hardware or the Chinese smartphones. It will at least take a couple of months or even a couple of years to replace it completely. You will never find a smartphone which was completely built without any Chinese components in it. At least 5 to 6 components might be imported from China. And the reason behind this is it is not only to India. China supplies hardware components to many countries across the world. For example, let us consider Apple. Apple being a US company, even 95% of the iPhones are made in China and imported to other countries. And when it comes to smartphones, especially in India, the Chinese smartphone brands have dominated the Indian market. They hold majority of the market share. What about the other non-Chinese brands? For example, Samsung. Yeah, Samsung is one of the rare companies where most of the components are made in India. It might have some components from China, but most of the components are made in India. And moving to the other non-Chinese brands like Asus. Yeah, Asus is a Taiwan company, but even Asus isn't releasing any smartphones in the mid-range segment frequently. If I recall, the last mid-range smartphone was Max Pro M2, which was released 1 year ago. So even I'm not sure what Asus is up to. And next we have the HMD Global or Nokia, and again most of their smartphones are made in China. And moving to LG, some are imported from Korea and some are made in India. And what about the other Indian brands? For example, we had Lava, Zolo and Intex. If I recall, Lava used to produce smartphones a couple of years back, even Zolo and Intex, but now these smartphone brands have completely disappeared. And if you recall, around 4-5 years back, we never used to get good mid-range smartphones. When it comes to specs, you either had to compromise on some of the other basic feature. And what these Chinese smartphone manufacturers did is that they used to provide good mid-range smartphones at a very aggressive price, and that's how companies like Xiaomi and Realme could capture the market. But now only Samsung is doing well in the mid-range segment with the new M series, but that's just not enough. What about the other non-Chinese brand like LG? LG used to release smartphones here and there, but their frequency is very low, like once in a year. And moving to HTC was one of my favorite brand, but now where are they? And guys, do let me know how many of you are still ready to buy HTC smartphones if they come up with newer models at a very good price. Do let me know in the comment section below. It's high time that these non-Chinese smartphone brands try to manufacture good mid-range smartphones, and on top of all, the pricing should be very aggressive. I know the profit margin for companies like Xiaomi and Realme are very thin, but that's how they entered the Indian market and could capture it. I understand India being not a very rich country when it comes to purchasing smartphones. Not everyone can afford an iPhone in India, or even if one can afford, he or she may simply not be willing to spend such a huge premium on depreciating assets like smartphones. And only a small amount of people wishes to buy these premium smartphones, not only iPhones, let it be of any brand like Samsung, Asus, LG, etc. For example, let's consider a Chinese smartphone which is priced at 12,000 rupees and one more non-Chinese smartphone which is priced somewhere around 18 or 19,000 rupees. Even that extra 6 to 7,000 matters a lot here. You simply can't expect everyone to pay slightly extra and go with the other brand, because in India people are very strict on how they spend money, what to invest on and what not to invest on. And guys, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to blame them for being like this, but in India majority of the people are very strict on their budget, and because of this pandemic most of them have even lost their jobs, and because of the increase tax and GST etc, already people are getting pressurized a lot, and at this point of time asking them to pay slightly extra might be hard. And guys, I'm pretty sure if people had enough money left, they would surely go with the other non-Chinese brands, but that's not the case here. And guys, this was just my frank opinion about what's going on currently in the Indian smartphone market, keeping in mind about the current situation, the problem that's going on between India and China. And guys, as I already said, let's be practical. Not everyone can afford that extra budget and go with the other brands. If you can personally do it, then go ahead and do it. And at the same time, there's no point in bashing someone or blaming someone for choosing a Chinese brand. He or she might be on a very tight budget and can't simply afford to pay extra. And that's the reason they have no other options left and have to go with these one or two Chinese brands brands that are left. And guys, I'm not against any particular brand or trying to condemn them here. And I'm also not talking in favor of any particular brand. I just shared my opinions and I'm expecting a lot more to come from the non-Chinese smartphone brands. So yeah guys, what do you think about it? Let's have a healthy discussion in the comment section below, and also do let me know which is your favorite non-Chinese smartphone brand. And thank you for watching my video. Catch you guys in the next one.